Most of the Ukrainian city of Severodonetsk is under the control of the Russian invaders. The head of the Luhansk regional military administration, Serhiy Haidai, said this. The situation in the city is very complicated. Almost all critical infrastructure has been destroyed, and 90% of the residential buildings have been damaged. About half of the destroyed buildings are impossible to restore. Russian troops carried out an airstrike on a chemical plant, hit a tanker with nitric acid. As a result, a toxic cloud has risen over the city.
Combat is going on inside the city. Russian troops unfortunately control most of the city, but the fear that somewhere our military will be surrounded, this will not happen. There is an opportunity to maneuver. Serhiy Haidai, head of the Luhansk regional military administration.
The Donetsk region is also under constant shelling. More than 300 settlements are out of power. Every day enemy shells kill civilians there.
Russia kills civilians. During May 31st, the Russians killed 4 civilians in Donbass, 3 in Slovyansk and 1 in Raihorodok. Pavlo Kyrylenko, head of the Donetsk regional military administration.
In the Kharkiv region, elderly woman was killed by enemy shelling. 1 more woman was seriously wounded. The Russian occupiers have been shelling the village of Zolochiv for more than 10 hours using howitzers. The first explosions occurred at 8 in the morning and did not stop until 6 in the evening. Artillery shells also hit neighboring settlements. In the village of Ivanivka, a 12-year-old child was killed and 1 more person was wounded. A number of residential buildings were destroyed, including 2 schools. There were many buildings damaged. The situation remains tense but stable in the Kryvyi Rih direction. The enemy continues shelling the territory with all kinds of weapons and launching airstrikes on settlements.
Орки вынуждены усиливать свои оборонные позиции.
The orcs are forced to strengthen their defensive position. They are even removing slabs from roads in order to build their fortifications. They are also mining the Ingulets River. The occupiers continue shelling the entire contact line with all types of multiple rocket launchers, artillery and tank mortars.
The Russian troops launched 16 mines into the Sumy region. They hit border settlements. According to preliminary information, there were no casualties. In the south of Ukraine, Ukrainian armed forces have launched a counterattack, but the Russian occupiers are trying to resist them. The enemy launched a number of attacks on Mykolaiv using Pion self-propelled heavy artillery. Such units hit at long distances, but with low accuracy. Thus, the enemy can attack the city targeting its suburbs. They also blew up the bridge over the Ingulets River.
While the enemy continues to cover the approaches to its position with artillery and mortar fire, it doesn't hesitate to fire cluster munition from Tornado-S multiple rocket launchers and Pion self-propelled 203mm heavy artillery at settlements. This is exactly how the city of Mykolaiv was hit today.
Meanwhile, in Mariupol, the Russian occupiers decided to appropriate foreign ships that are in the port. They called it nationalization. The same fate befalls the cars that the citizens left in the city. The invaders have already begun to gather even damaged cars from the streets and take them to the parking area of the Azovsky market.
If the owners do not come in a month, almost until July 1st, all the cars will be recognized as the property of the so-called Young Republic. The second step after the real estate inventory is that complete theft of the property of Mariupol residents that miraculously remained after aerial bombs, Grad and Smerch multiple launch rocket systems.
In the Izum direction, Ukrainian servicemen downed a Russian Ka-52 helicopter, also known as the Alligator. In addition, the Operational Command South reports that Ukraine's defenders eliminated 70 persons of the enemy army during the past day. 1 artillery unit, 2 anti-aircraft units, 2 howitzers, 4 units of armored vehicles and 5 units of automobile equipment were also destroyed. Reported by Roman Smoler, Mariana Krechet, UATV News.